I've been thinking a lot about how we teach kids concepts, those principles and those ideas that underlie the skills that we want them to demonstrate. And in particular, because this can be such a challenge for students and challenge for teachers to teach, are there some ways that we can get AI to help with this process? And that is what we're going to look at here. So let's start with prompt number 1. So in this case, we're using the example of fractions at 3rd grade. And you see right here, I want my 3rd grade students to learn to demonstrate concepts about fractions. Now, what you would do is take these parts here, describe your own students, and then what is the area where you want them to master new concepts? You're going to put that there. The reason why I'm using fractions here comes from a conversation I had quite some years back with the dean of mathematics at one of our state universities. We were lamenting the fact that kids often have to take 1, 2, 3 courses of remedial mathematics before they're ever able to get to college level math, or Algebra 121 at the time. And I had asked him, what are kids missing? Like, why can't they do college math when they get there? Without hesitation, he said, fractions. They don't understand fractions, or how numbers work, how we take them apart, put them together, and so on. And that has sent me off on a quest for years. How do we help kids master fractions, and in particular, generally concepts that underlie those skills? So here, we're going to be doing that and looking at 3rd grade and fractions. So that's a quick short story about why I chose this particular example, but it's going to work across content areas. So we've got the parts you personalize there. Now, for most of them, this is the first time. So we're introducing new concepts here. And then we continue on and say, I need 10 ways to teach this concept with games. We're going to ask kids to do some heavy lifting. Let's make a game out of it, put it into practice. And following a constructivist pedagogy, you would put in the pedagogy that most works for you. So I do think the constructivist pedagogy is the way to go, though, when we are talking about concepts and developing concepts through experiences. Generally, what we're talking about is constructivist pedagogy. So that's why I chose that example there, but you would put in your own. All right, then what do we know about the activities? Hands-on, cooperative, minimal setup and materials. And for this specific example, because I'm talking about fractions, I said, no more pizza. Don't give me anything with pizza. We do too much with pizza, and it's not really working very well, quite honestly. All right, provide the game, the name of it, give me a quick explanation of it, how it's conducted, and if kids are doing this, what are they actually learning? So that is a rather extensive prompt, but we're going to draw from that. So I wanted to get a lot of content in there. All right, so let's copy this and let's get it into our AI with a new discussion. So here we go, and we tell ChatGPT, give it to me. Let's go. Here are 10 cooperative hands-on constructivist games for introducing, and then the concept, fractions in this case, and no pizza. Hurrah. All right, what do we have? Fraction fort builders, paper strips. So we have 10 activities, cooperative activities, following a constructivist approach for kids to develop their understanding of these core concepts. We've got what it is, what it looks like, and what are they learning. So that is a great start to this strategy, this multi-step strategy. And actually, some of these look pretty good. Now, so we've got a bunch, but we need some sorting here because, as we noted in the prompt, this is the first time kids are beginning to build their understanding. So let's start simply, and that brings us to prompt number 2. Hi, David Bowman here. If you are enjoying this video and these techniques, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, if you are a school administrator or a PD lead and you're looking for some support for your staff to make the most effective use of AI within the learning environment, feel free to give us a call or send us an email. We'd love to talk to you about how we can work together to make sure that your staff is using AI effectively to meet the learning needs of kids. Now, back to the video. Prompt number 2, quite a bit shorter. All right, rank these from simplest to most complex based on the core concepts, not on the nature of the activities, but on the nature of what kids are supposed to be learning through these activities. The easiest concepts, and then we're going to build up from there as students become more proficient and are able to demonstrate their understanding. So that is our next prompt. Very simply. All right, ordered list based on the underlying ideas and the cognitive load. Start easy, build some understanding, build some efficacy, self-efficacy, and then move on from there. And now we've got them. Okay, so there we go. 10 ranked by complexity. Now that takes us then to number 3. Number 3 is the fact that some kids are going to move a little faster. Now, we don't really need to differentiate down because we're kind of starting at the lowest level. We could ask for that, but we're starting at the simplest level already. What we really need is to think about those kids that are ready to move ahead or who already understand the simple concepts, the core concepts. So give me an extension. Now here I said for each one, but as I'm thinking about my instructional plan, I'm going to just focus on those first few and build some extensions on those instead. So let's take that, and I'm going to modify this a little bit for activities 1 through, I'll say 1 through 2 for the sake of example, but I would probably do 1 through 3 or 1 through 4 for those students who are advanced or who just pick it up more quickly and are ready to move on. So extension strategies for activities 1 and 2 that provide a richer reasoning for students who master the basic concepts earlier. And as I mentioned, going through these processes and kind of building this set of instructional activities, these games, is going to work for any content area where we are teaching kids new concepts. So let's see. Extensions for advanced learners. So here are some things we can do on top of, not in addition, not as a replacement, but in addition to what we have already done. Once students are demonstrating their understanding, what do we do to expand upon it? And that's what this is going to give us here. All right, so et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Extensions for advanced learners and some neat stuff there. All right, now finally, last one. I've been saying, yes, kids need to be able to demonstrate these concepts. I need to know if they're getting the concepts or not, if they can understand them. So how can I determine that? And here I'm going to look at just one. We could do all of them, but here for the sake of this example, 1. So let's just say for number 2 of those ones we just generated, give me some strategies to assess their knowledge. All still following that same constructivist approach. And thinking. For the paper strip fraction towers, aligned with the constructivist, hands-on, allows you to observe what they truly understand about this concept. Here is what we can do. So there you go, a multi-step process for introducing and helping students to begin to master the concepts in the subjects that you teach. I hope you found this useful. Take care.